Hello, I'm Matt Guff from thehouse.com, and this is a 2020 Salomon Sleepwalker Wide Snowboard. The Salomon Sleepwalker, that's a hard one to say sometimes. This is actually the wide version. It's a park-specific board for beginner to advanced level riders who want a high-performing board for the parks at a great price point. Within this price point category, the Sleepwalker is one of the top 5 boards, and that's why it's in my top 5 best value park boards there is. This is a really great deck that has a lot of tech for a really low price point. So it kind of beats out the rest of the competition within that category. This, because it's a park board, is a true twin style deck. The stance is centered. The nose and the tail have the exact same shape, so you can ride it regular and switch, and it's going to feel the same. It features a profile shape called rock out camber. It's a combination. It's kind of a hybrid, which means that there's kind of a camber arc-ish to it, except for that the lifted section between the feet is actually flat, whereas as you transition from underneath the insert packs to the end of the contact points, the board actually has a little bit of rocker. What that does is provide a good platform for ollie pop. You notice that there's a good amount of pop like right behind that back foot, and still provides kind of a catch freestyle and buttery ride on those contact points, but still has a good amount of ollie power because of the core profiling that's found, of course, in the core. But that rock out camber is great because it's kind of catch free too. So if you're buttering around, just kind of like cruising on groomed trails, or you're riding jibs, that lifted contact point section is great. And then you combine that freestyle edge bevel that the Sleepwalker Wide has. It's like, really can't go wrong with it. But you know, if you have big feet, size 11 feet and larger, you do yourself a favor and get on a wide board, especially if you're a park rider, because the last thing that you want to do when you're riding the park, of course, is falling by catching your toes in your heel edge because they're sticking off the sides of the board. The feel and flex rating of the Sleepwalker is going to be about a 4, a little softer than your average board. 1 on that scale is going to be extremely soft, 10 is extremely stiff. This is just a little bit softer than average. Most people who ride the Sleepwalker in the park kind of tend to gravitate towards jibbing, or like handrails, boxes, things of that sort, over jumping, but of course you can still jump with this deck, no problem. Inside of this board is a what's called an Aspen strong wood core, which is lightweight and again really poppy, and features the Popster core profiling. It's kind of cool because it has a standard style thickness underneath each foot and kind of going towards the contact points that gives it a nice ollie platform. But on the medial sides of where the bindings rest, the core is just a little bit thinner to allow it to flex a little bit better when you're locking in presses. But then again, in the center of the board's back to its regular thickness, giving it an ultra strong durability. So you get ollie power and pop, and you still get a good press with the Sleepwalker Wide just because of that Popster core profiling. And then to help absorb impacts and reduce negative vibrations caused by riding through choppy terrain, Salomon actually adds into their ABS style sidewalls a 2mm style pad underneath each binding. So you can kind of see that within that white sidewall, that rubber pad is actually black. So it helps to absorb a little bit of impact and of course, negative vibrations, which is really good. The base is extruded. This is a very low maintenance style base. You really won't have to do much to it throughout the season. It has a medium stone grind style finish. It's a little bit more rough or has more structure than like a fine grind, which is fine because most people who ride this, you're gonna be riding jibs anyway. And then there's that EQ rad style side cut. Now it's kind of unique because it's basically 3 different like straight lines, one between the feet, an angled one on the nose, angled one on the tail, with a radial kind of transition between each zones to kind of blend it together. What that does is helps you to set up for jibs so you can get on a slight edge without turning a lot and kind of track straight when you're getting, you're setting up for your jump or even your jib. And then again, there's that 360 wrap standard steel edge that has that freestyle edge bevel to make it a little less catchy. This is a great deck. The Salomon really went a different direction with the graphic for this season compared to the 19 and the 18 season graphic, but I kind of like it. Specifically the base looks cool. Top sheet's great too. But what matters more about this deck than the graphic is, of course, how well it performs for the price point. Again, within the category, it's like sub 4 and sub 4, you really can't beat the deck. This is a great park deck. It's called the 2020 Salomon Sleepwalker Wide, a great board for anyone with size 11 feet and larger. Thanks for watching. Hopefully see you guys on Snow.